This is the first day out on the 2-acre clearing that we've started after the excavator did a little bit of work. So today's goal is to chop up some logs. Before I get started, another cool thing is the first relative has come and visited. One of Tyler K's friends happens to be her cousin, and they're keeping each other occupied exploring the woods, which I think is great. Couple of kids, 5 and I forget how old she is. Less than 10, 5 and less than 10, having a good old time out in the woods, playing in the mud, picking up and playing with bugs and sticks and goo and all this stuff, and not glued to a screen. Makes me feel good, because also they're really enjoying it too. It's not like, oh, we're punished by being out here. Tyler has, I don't know if you can see it back there, but there's her tractor, her little tractor, which is my old lawnmower. And they're just splashing around in mud puddles, having a little bit of fun. Hey folks, I do hope you're all having a great day today. Behind me is the beginning of 2 acres that I'm clearing for my shop, our temporary living situation, and the future of my business, the future of living this awesome life here on 101 acres. So we're clearing 2 acres. All of the small underbrush is just going to be, we're in the woods, there's bugs, going to be piled, as it already is, and burned. There's just kind of nothing else I could do right now. It's just way too much stuff to chip and actually keep. So we've got a big burn pile started, and you see a couple of these bigger trees already down. I'm trying to save all of the large diameter trees, which in this case are all pines. This is a planted pine stand. I don't know the exact number of acres for all of this pine, but at one time somebody came through here and clear cut it, destroyed the natural habitat here, and planted pines. Now, there's a lot of good and bad about all that stuff, but regardless, this is not the natural habitat. So clearing these 2 acres doesn't make me feel too bad. So the pines that are here were planted for a reason, to be harvested at a later date. Well, we purchased the property, and we're not really going to harvest and sell all this like the original person who planted this planned on. So I'm going to use all of the trees to stockpile for ourselves. I did a rough estimation of about 150 trees on this 2 acres that are coming down. Big trees that I can save for later. Now, these bigger trees are anywhere from, I don't know, 15 to 30. There's a couple that are massive in diameter, 15 to 30 inches in diameter, most of them being probably around 20 inches in diameter. And I estimated about 40 feet of usable log on these trees. So 40 feet of usable trees. And then to be conservative there, I said 3 10-foot logs per tree, 150 trees. That's 450 logs that I'll end up with. Conservative guessing. Well, I just measured one of them for the first time, and I got into the 50s. So that conservative 3 logs per tree is probably actually 4 logs per tree. Anyway, we have a ridiculous amount of trees. My daughter's tractor is about to pass me, which is kind of noisy, so there's that. So we're out here today. My wife is working ahead of me with a 10-foot stick, spray painting little dots at 10 feet from me to chop up as much of these with the chainsaw into much more manageable sections for our tractor and for the excavator. And they're stuck. I got to help them with the tractor. All right, kids are unstuck. And they're going yonder, wherever yonder is. Yonder is that funny word that I've never found yonder. All right, so here's what we're dealing with, right? We got the root balls and everything pushed over. The excavator guy, he suggested that he come in and clear the underbrush. Then he will push them over to expose all this. That's easier to get the root ball out. And then I can cut them up. So as I said, my wife has already gone back, or she's already done a lot. Got a lot of this spray painted for me to cut up. Now this one is kind of a smaller one. It's still a pretty decent sized log, you know. That's probably 15 inches in diameter. That's kind of a smaller one, something like that. So here's another thing. I have a chainsaw. I have a few chainsaws, but I don't have any wedges with me. I forgot my wedges. So I'm gonna try my best to not pinch the blade as I work, or pinch the bar as I work. And we're just gonna drop them in place, not moving them today. I don't think we're gonna move them today. And here, also, while we're here, we can get a good idea of what this land actually looks like as far as the vegetation goes. You see all the big pines right there. They're grown up quite a bit, obviously. So we have some nice, good, straight lumber to work with once I get a mill. And then you can also see this secondary layer right here, the top of the trees down below. So all this is natural regrowth that would have been eliminated if this pine stand was properly managed for commercial purposes. So like I said, this was planted for commercial purposes clearly, or a personal investment where you harvest it down the road. But it wasn't managed as well as it probably should have been. I think it was, thinned out at one time, and then all these lower limbs on the trees cut down so you got some nice long straight trunks to deal with. But yeah, this is, I don't know how well it's showing up on camera. This is a good representation of the two different main sections here. We got the tall trees going up, the pines that we're saving, and then all of this underbrush down here, the natural hardwood regrowth, a lot of sweet gum and stuff that's just really annoying to get rid of anyway. That's all down at the bottom. Now we can count how old this tree is. You want to count how old this tree is real quick? 34 rings. So this tree is about 34 years old, which is kind of what I expected. I was thinking 25, 35 years old, who knows for sure. Well, now we know for sure.